Hey everybody, so I was just checking out something and I wanted to put a quick video up about Visa's new Enhanced Dispute Resolution Center and talk a little bit about how it's going to impact you. And one really important thing that I think a lot of merchant services reps don't seem to understand, or even ISOs. So first of all, let me tell you what happened. So Visa correctly identified a really big problem in the payments industry, which is the way disputes are handled. Now, I've experienced this from all sides, from the kind of processor side of things, or ISO, from the sales agent side, and also as a merchant. We sell stuff, our tool, my consulting, different things like that. And so I've experienced disputes from a lot of different sides. And the one big takeaway for me is that it is absolutely a mess. It's ridiculous. It's not well put together and organized. And so on the surface of it, I'm really happy that Visa's rolled out this new system. The system is basically, the idea behind it was to shorten the amount of time. Right now, the average dispute takes 46 days to resolve. They're predicting that the new one will take an average of 31 days. So it's a significant 30% reduction in the amount of time it's going to take to resolve disputes. Also, they're trying to basically standardize the idea of disputes so that a dispute isn't this big mess that has to always be arbitrated. They're trying to make it more standardized, so there are certain reasons you can file a dispute, fraud, whatever. There's a few things that you can do, and so that will potentially limit the number of disputes that a merchant gets that are frivolous or ridiculous or whatever, but also it'll speed up the process for everybody. So on the surface, it's a good thing, but there's a really important thing that you need to understand, and I think some of you may not understand this yet. So Visa, when they look at a merchant, they don't think of what you think of as a merchant. So in other words, your merchant is actually like a sub-merchant of the acquirer, the processor. And so the problem I think it's going to run into here is it's going to be very interesting to see how these mega ISOs and processors actually roll out this new thing to their kind of sub merchants, meaning when a dispute comes through, a chargeback dispute comes through, it doesn't go directly to the merchant. And one of the big problems with the system is that now everything is handled so much more quickly that the merchant doesn't have very much time to respond to a dispute. And so they could potentially lose a dispute without even getting a chance to respond, especially if the processor doesn't do anything to get that information to the merchant really, really quickly. So the idea here is, I'll put a link below the video. Hopefully I can put a link in here from my mobile phone, but I'll put a link in of this website. You can go and you can read about it. And when you read it, you're like, oh, that sounds really cool. There's a new system, and you can go and manage it online, and you're going to get these notifications ahead of time, and before the dispute's even filed, you're going to get notifications and all that. And that's all great, but keep in mind, your merchant isn't going to get that notification necessarily. That notification is going to come from Visa to the acquirer or the processor. They are in turn going to have to get that to the merchant. How quickly? Well, in the past, a lot of them, they just print it on the statement, the next month. Well, that's not going to work because the dispute's already going to be resolved before they even get notified. So just a little side note, something you want to keep your eye on. If you're a merchant services provider, you probably want to check that out, and make sure you are changing your systems to accommodate this new thing. I'm assuming MasterCard's going to come out with something similar really soon. The other thing is, if you're a sales rep or an ISO, you do need to check with your processor or acquirer and just find out what are they doing to implement this new system, and how are they going to help to make sure their merchants get notified quicker of these disputes so that they can actually dispute them if that's an issue for your merchant. So just wanted to give you a quick little heads up on that. I'll put a link below in the video. Hope you guys are all having an awesome day. I'm enjoying myself here in rainy Pennsylvania, but hope you're all having a great day, and talk to you again soon.